This week on the Jock and Nerd podcast, we reviewed the premiere episodes of the Apple TV Plus Godzilla show Monarch, Legacy of Monsters, plus Avengers Kang Dynasty loses its writer and director. Fantastic Four may have found its Reed Richards. Trailers for What If Season 2, Madam Web, Aquaman 2, and more, all in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Monday, November 20th, 2023.
You know who this is, and you know why you're here. You want all the latest comic book and superhero TV and movie news, and by God, you found it. Forget everything else out there. Forget all the Scientology bullshit. This is the real deal. This is the real deal. Worship at the feet of the holy trio of geekdom, the Jock and Nerd podcast. Play it.
Check. Check one. All right. This is for all you fans out there. Let's give it up.
We jock it, we nerd it. We funny, disturb it. We jock it, we nerd it. We spoiler alert. Oh yeah!
Hey, what's happening, listener? Thanks for pressing play and welcome to the Jock and Nerd podcast, where we give you comic book and superhero TV and movie news, reviews, and whatever we choose. Jock and Nerd. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
And he's a nerd.
And joining us, he's the terror of Tokyo. He's not as big as Godzilla, but his breath is just as bad. It's Rugzilla. What's up, Rugs?
Yeah.
Oh wait, I had that somewhere here. That's a good one here.
Wow, that was so loud.
That was pretty loud. Sorry about that. I'll turn it down.
Shit my pants.
Was that the brown note? I just gave Rugs the brown note. I didn't know it existed.
Wow.
You know about the brown note, Anthony?
I thought you said I thought. See the audio. I thought you said brown eye.
No, well,
you know what the brown eye is.
You know what the brown eye is, but there's also a brown note.
No, I don't know what that means.
It's allegedly a frequency so low that it causes you to just release your bowels.
Oh, shit.
Like you have no control.
Everybody starts having
shits their pants.
Yeah.
When you hear this frequency.
Explosive diarrhea.
I think I just gave everyone the brown note in that Godzilla roar is what happened. So everybody check your pants. Make sure they're fresh because we have a lot to discuss this week, fellas. Enough about the brown note. Let's get into it.
The Jock and Nerd podcast.
We're going to start with lots of Marvel news. Last week, there's all these crazy articles leaving me to ask what the hell is happening with these Avengers movies coming up. The next two Avengers movies, specifically Avengers the Kang Dynasty. So here's all the rumors and some facts that all dropped very quickly last week. I'm going to break it down, fellas. I want your thoughts about what do you think is going on. We start with Joanna Robinson, the lady who wrote that book with other people, MCU, The Reign of Marvel Studios, talking on a podcast, The Ringer's House of R podcast, seemingly confirming screenwriter Jeff Loveness is off the movie. He has left Kang Dynasty, and she asked the person why, and they said the reason why was he was all wrapped up in this Kang storyline, and they are likely going to be moving away from that. Right? Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The writer's gone. She's saying they're moving away. Literally the next day, Deadline reports Destin Daniel Cretton officially walking away from directing Avengers Kang Dynasty.
Oh, shit.
What the fuck? He leaves the project, and he's going to be working on like Shang-Chi and this Wonder Man TV show that's probably never happening. And then this week on the Hot Mic podcast with Roca and Snyder, a lot of interesting things said. One was that Kevin Feige wants the same director for these two movies. He wants to do a two-parter. So is it? And they might change the title of the first one, maybe pivoting away from the word Kang. Maybe it's Secret Wars Part 1, Part 2. Then John Roca goes, I have been told that they are discussing the possibility of bringing the Russo brothers back to direct, and essentially that Marcus and McFeely, the writers, are already unofficial advisors over the last few months at Marvel. Okay, that's weird. Now, Joanna Robinson said they're moving away from Kang, But this other guy, Daniel Rickman, who's another scooper, spoiler, who's a lot of stuff is accurate. He says the studio is still committed to the Kang storyline. Jeff Snyder also heard that he believes or he thinks that they are going to recast Kang ultimately, but they're still going to wait for this trial. So what are we on the facts is that the writer's gone, the director's gone, the other things are all rumor. What does this mean? Is Kang done? Is he going to be just minimized? Or are they going to keep him and recast him? I'm very confused. What do you guys think?
Well, they're trying to get to Secret Wars.
Yes.
If they can do it without Kang, then you do it. But see, there's two Secret Wars, right? There's Secret Wars, the OG one in 84.
Right.
That's Beyonder based.
Yep.
And then there's this other one with Doctor Doom and like all multiple timelines like crashing into one another.
Right.
It's super complicated and I fucking hate it. And but I think that there's elements of that could work in this Kang timeline because you got multiple timelines and you got variants and shit.
Yeah, we got incursions happening.
So I don't think we need the incursions, or maybe they're already happening because of what happened in Loki. But the point is, they want to get to Secret Wars, and I think Secret Wars is going to be their way of getting a lot of the old gone Marvels like Black Widow and Iron Man back into the game for one last one. Because if you look at the one with the Doctor Doom version, it's all about like there's no characters that's themselves. There's all like these all variant characters.
Right. That was the point. It was like all the different universes, the Ultimate Universe and the main Marvel timeline was kind of combined.
So like in that way, I could see that the story going using the Kang timeline thing. Like, I don't know exactly how they're going to do it, but I think that's why they're still not completely abandoning Kang because they need all of these multiple timelines. If they can get to the multiple timelines without Kang and all these multiverse thing where they're having the Secret Wars because of the multiverse, I think that that's the reason why they're kind of clinging to Kang. But if they can do it without him, they should try that. Because isn't Kang like irrelevant now?
I mean, what?
At this very moment in time?
In the MCU, yeah, they kind of like, if we didn't see Kang again, Ant-Man beat him. And then, like, Loki...
they had the Council of Kangs at the end of Ant-Man.
So they're still around. But then Loki replaces He Who Remains, but the variants are out there. What should they do, Anthony?
Oh, man, I don't know. So I liked the... It is a crazy storyline, but the lead up to this second Secret Wars with Hickman's right. I really enjoyed the new Avengers with incursions, and there was an Infinity storyline that was really good. The Secret Wars one was pretty crazy, and I think that's where they're going, or that's where the crumbs are leading us right now. As Ruggs mentioned, Kang wasn't really involved in that storyline, but it looks like they might be melding that. I don't think they should just get rid of Kang. Like, I don't think, just recast him, which it looks like there's some sources that are saying just do that. I think what's happening here is, one, they probably had a shit script, or they are probably pivoting away from some of the stuff that they might have had in the plans because, quite frankly, I mean, we've been through a phase and a couple movies now of Marvel, and if you just kind of went down the path you were going down, it's already showed like no one's interested anymore in that.
Yeah, did Kang work enough for them to, keep him as the big...
Yeah, I mean, you would just be barreling towards something that there's no excitement for. So it looks like they might be pivoting away from that. I think it makes sense to have the same director do both Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars or whatever they're going to call them. Yeah. Just because continuity, like that would just seem to make sense. That worked for Infinity War and Endgame. My big takeaway would be just don't pivot away just because Jonathan Majors might not be in the role. Just recast the guy or recast Kang. I think Kang is a really cool character. I liked him in the cartoon Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I think there's some stuff to mine there. That being said, they also might have already blown it by having him lose to Ant-Man. So
yeah, maybe that's.
I mean, there was also something too in Guardians where, not to the extent they did Kang, but in Guardians, Thanos shows up and Ronan like talks down to him and just basically shuts him down.
Oh,
so
yeah.
they didn't really like have the best foot forward with Thanos either, and you can redo it. It's just we'll see.
So I got to the part in that book, Reign of MCU.
You still reading it?
I'm halfway through.
Jesus Christ! Can you read it a little faster?
I'm
Stop
trying.
watching all the bullshit you watch and read the book.
It's really good too. It's a really good book. It reads really fast, and it's hard to
It
find
reads
time.
really fast. It's been 3 months since you first bought
know
the book.
you read the whole fucking thing. I got halfway through, but I got to the point where Joss Whedon talks about the Thanos post-credit scene, and he kind of just slipped that in. Essentially, he wanted to give a reason for why Loki had this army, where it came from. He wanted to do a whole scene with Loki and Thanos giving him the Chitauri army, but then he just does that post-credit scene, and they had no plans for Thanos at that point. He just kind of put it in there as a throwaway thing, and so you can still pivot and make someone more important or less important than they are. I think when the Russo brothers come back and Marcus and McFeely come back, then you're solid. They can fucking figure this out. If anybody's going to fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, I do think
I like Kang, but I don't know.
if we get set into like a whole 2 movies of all variants where there's you're just introducing like the Fantastic Four, like the real deal Fantastic Four, and then you got variants of all the other guys, and then you got the X-Men coming in here, and they're coming in true to form. Like, and then at the end of this, like Secret Wars, you want there to be a reunified, like reestablished Marvel universe that has all of these heroes existing in the same reality, right? Is that what you want to happen?
That's what they did in the Secret Wars 2. They brought everything together into one reality.
I guess
they brought Miles over. They brought everything. You could do something similar where you bring the X-Men. You bring over the things you liked from other realities.
Well, look, I think Deadpool 3 is going to be important if they're doing this thing with the TVA and the X-Men. And what if one of the Avengers movies is like Avengers versus X-Men, and then you do Secret Wars, or you do that afterwards? That could be exciting.
Well, isn't Secret Wars about all them fighting in the first place?
Well, the first one is.
Yeah.
The second one is sort of like that, but yeah, it's like called Battle World. And
they're on Battle World, and they got to fight. They fight bad guys in the second one.
Well, there's like an army of Thors. Isn't there like an army of Thors?
There is. Yeah, there's an army of Thors. There's a great wall, and behind the wall is like a Nihilus army and like Ultron. Like it's like all these like bad guys are behind the wall. There's some like interesting ideas in there.
I mean, you can like do a lot of member berries with that shit. Like, oh, remember Ultron? Oh, here he is.
Yeah.
But like remember all the bad guys that we killed for no apparent reason?
If they can bring back everybody from the original, all the new people, and all the old villains that have ever been in any Marvel thing, and throw them all into one movie, and there's like 75 fuckers in this movie, like that would be wild. And they'll probably try to attempt that.
Yeah, I think those would all be cool things. The only issue is you got to make good movies leading up.
I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think they're going to even do that. I think that's what everybody wants, but they don't really usually deliver that type of stuff. We've been talking about them doing this shit for years. So, like, I mean, you'd think that Secret Wars would be the place they do it, right? Everything's kind of chalked up for that, right? But let's see if they do it.
It's still unclear who like the big villain is. Listener, let us know what you think. You can join this conversation. Join our Facebook group. It's called Jock and Nerd Nation.
Jock and Nerd.
There's a link in the episode description. It is a closed group just to nerd out in. Join it. It's lots of fun. Okay, let's get to the other big fucking Marvel news that broke. Apparently, this is not confirmed, but everybody's reporting. /film breaking the news first. Pedro Pascal is going to be cast as Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four movie. What the fuck?
Shit.
The fuck?
I've gone back and forth on this all week. He is the internet's daddy. He's so many things. Do we need him as another thing? I don't know.
Well, tell us. What do you think?
So at first I was like, this is not who I would pick. This is a weird pick. I didn't think it was right. But this fucking guy is so good. He's such a good actor that he could actually pull it off. And if you get him clean shaven and kind of cleaned up, I can totally see him pulling this off. The rest of the rumored cast, and none of this is confirmed, but our Fantastic Four cast may be Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, Joseph Quinn from Stranger Things as Johnny Storm, and Eben Moss Bacharach as the Thing. And then we'll get into, there's a bunch of rumors about who's going to play Galactus that have been changing. Pedro Pascal, of course, Game of Thrones, Mandalorian, The Last of Us. He's everything.
Wonder Woman 1984.
Okay, that wasn't great. But then Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent with Nick Cage. He was pretty great in that.
It's funny, yeah.
This is where I flip-flop on the guy. Like, he could pull it. He's so good. I could kind of see him pulling this off. What do you think, Anthony?
So to recap, it looks like, Deadline, all the big news outlets have reported this one. I don't know if they reported all those other ones. You might have to correct me on that, Imran.
But this one's a lock.
But this one, they reported as like circling, which means I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. It reminds me of when Benedict Cumberbatch was leaked to be Doctor Strange and then never really was official, but it was
okay.
When it gets to those big news outlets, I think it's happening. I was looking at his age. He's 48.
He's old as Imran.
He's a year older. Yes.
He's a year older than Imran? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's old.
Well, you got a lot of work to do. Yeah, I like Pedro Pascal. He was out of left field for me, but I think he's a really good actor. I've liked him in mostly everything I've seen, so I don't have a problem with casting good actors in certain roles, and I think this seems kind of similar to the mixed reaction Chris Evans got as Captain America.
Sure, a bunch of these castings have gotten mixed reactions.
And I don't even think this one is as crazy as that one was at the time. I'm about it. Sure.
How old was Robert Downey Jr. when he took on the mantle of Iron Man?
43.
He was 43, so not far behind.
He was 43?
Yeah.
Oh.
Ruggs, what do you think? This is a big get for Marvel. He's a hot guy right now. Do you like this casting?
Do I like it? Yeah, it's okay. It's not like terrible at all. It's fine. I think that he's going to do a great job. He's a good actor. Like, I know he could become Reed Richards. I know that. I wished it wasn't somebody that wasn't so overly used.
Yeah.
Yeah, is he overexposed right now? Too much.
I just think he's been too many things in pop culture, and like, that's fine. Like, it just doesn't make it as special. It just kind of makes it like he's just, here's another one in another notch in the belt there. But like, it's fine. He's good. He'll do fine.
Jeff Snyder said that Kevin Feige was like, I do not want 4 white people as the leads. Is also one of the reasons.
But isn't Pedro Pascal? What is it? Is it Spanish?
He's not Hollywood white. That's different.
Wow.
Actual race and Hollywood race is 2 different things sometimes.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? He's considered a person of color, basically.
It's fine. I mean, he's paying. I mean, he can play a white guy.
Yes, he can, actually.
He's played Joel Miller.
Yeah.
That's about as white as it gets.
Yeah.
Well, actually, in Last of Us, I think they have him part Hispanic.
Is he in there? Did they explain? Yeah,
because his brother is Hispanic.
But
he's definitely Spaniard, right, or something like that.
He's Chilean.
Oh,
he is
Chilean. Yeah, he's Chilean.
Yeah, so, but he looks. It's acting, right? He can play a white guy. He looks. If he has him, he looks white.
I don't think there's a problem with him being Reed Richards at all.
Yeah.
I just, the fact that he's like, that Kevin Feige, I don't want white people on the movie. I'm like, okay, I don't think that's really, you reached enough.
He just barely put a skim of something on there just to mix it up a little.
Yeah.
You know what? Also, the important thing about this cast, if you think of all of them, Kirby, Quinn, and Burt Bacharach, and Pedro Pascal, this is going to be an affordable cast. You're not going to have to shell out like a big number for one person.
You don't think so?
I think so.
You don't think Pedro Pascal is a big name?
Pedro may be the most, but I still don't think he's going to be as big as how Robert Downey Jr. is now, what he would cost. I think he's still like getting these roles. And I mean, he's doing a lot of TV. He is. And also, he's in Gladiator 2. He's going to have to film that first. He's got to do The Last of Us Season 2, and then they get to shoot this fucking movie. So his schedule is very busy.
Wow.
For the
He's gonna be
Galactus,
51 years old when this movie comes out.
by the time it starts shooting, I think they got to give us an official announcement soon. Galactus rumors Javier Bardem, but then also Mads Mikkelsen, Jason Clarke, and Ralph Fiennes. Ray Fiennes.
Oh, Mads would be the best Galactus.
Mads would be a really good Galactus. Honestly.
He was already in. Wasn't he already in something?
Yes, he was in Doctor Strange.
But he could play a Galactus and
it'd be all mocap
different character. Yeah. They did that with what's her face, Gemma Chan.
Oh yeah, she was two different things.
She was in Captain Marvel, and then she as a Kree, and then she was obviously in Eternals.
Yeah.
What a waste of her as a Kree. What a waste to throw away.
What do you think about those Galactus?
Wait, so those names you mentioned, are those Galactus or Doom?
No.
I know Javier Bardem is
Javier
Galactus.
Bardem is Oh, sorry. You're right. Javier Bardem is Galactus. Dr. Doom is Mads Mikkelsen, Jason Clarke, and Ray Fiennes.
Who's Jason Clarke?
Jason Clarke, the guy from Terminator, in the latest Terminator Genesis. He's been in a lot of things. He was in
the big face guy.
Yeah, big face guy. He was in Oppenheimer. He's been in a lot of things. That's absolutely right. You know Jason
He's got
Clarke.
a huge face.
He does. That's why he's great. But that is how you describe him. Absolutely.
Big-faced guy.
So
He's like if someone took Michael Madsen and like put like a bike pump in his head and
pumped him up. Yes, like the guy. Like he always looks like he's just been in a boxing match. Right, a little bit. He's like always looks a little swollen in the face. That's Jason Clarke, absolutely.
Okay.
I think Javier Bardem for Galactus and like Mads Mikkelsen for Doom would be crazy, but Doom is probably going to be like a tiny like post-credit scene or something.
Mads Mikkelsen for Doom.
That'd be great.
He's first of all, the guy's fucking tall.
Yeah,
I like.
He's
Mads.
very intimidating.
Yeah, that'd be good. I don't mind Mads,
but he's going to be in behind a mask most of the time, so it's all right.
Right,
that's true.
Fiennes is isn't he was he in Red Dragon?
Yeah. And
how old are these guys? These guys are old.
Wasn't he like the fucking bad guy from Harry Potter?
Oh yeah, he's fucking Voldemort.
Yeah,
Voldemort. Yeah, I guess if you're casting an old Pedro Pascal, isn't Doom and Reed like they knew each other growing up? Or is that?
They got to be the similar age. Yeah,
it's one of many. You know,
they don't have to
be.
I guess. Yeah,
I don't like
they would
that
be.
They know
They would
each
be
other.
probably. They would at least probably be in around the same age range, right?
But Doom is for some reason got a boner for Sue Storm.
He does.
Oh, really?
So there's got to be a reason he's got a boner for Sue Storm or something.
Also, that's the other thing people are bringing up is the age difference between Vanessa Kirby and Pedro Pascal. Is that going to be weird?
What, is she like a spring chicken?
She's in her 30s.
Is she? I don't think that's right.
No?
No, I think she's in her almost 40s.
What? No. How old is Vanessa Kirby?
I'm wrong. She's 35.
So she's 35 and he's 48? I guess that's not that big.
It's not too bad. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
It's Hollywood, baby.
It sounds great.
As a single man that hopes to live till 48, at least one day, I wouldn't mind banging a 35-year-old.
From a 47-year-old, that sounds all right.
Sounds not too bad, actually.
Anyways, so yeah, that's all the Fantastic Four rumors. Who knows when we're going to hear something. Meanwhile, the Marvels suffers a historic 78% drop in the box office.
Oh, shit.
That's like the worst drop they've ever had. I think I can play this clip now.
I offered you a chance to be a cop, and you blew it.
It's appropriate. So that's not doing well, and the estimate of how much it's going to finish, they might barely just make their production budget back on the second movie.
Oh yeah, it's going to lose lots of money.
This is definitely not going to be making money.
Unmitigated disaster.
That's really bad. It's really bad, but we'll see what happens moving forward. Speaking of moving forward, we have some trailers. Let's move into the trailer section of the show. I want to start with this trailer for What If Season 2 on Disney Plus. The notable thing about this series, Disney Plus is experimenting with their releases, right? Echo is going to come out all at once, 5 episodes, January 10th. Marvel Studio What If Season 2 premieres December 22nd and then drops 1 episode a day for the next 9 days all across the holidays. It's different. It's very different. Anthony, you get a look at this. We kind of went over the titles of these, and you see some of that happening in this trailer. What'd you think of season 2? Geek Boner, Floppy Jock?
It looks fine. I mean, What If season 1 was pretty mixed. I noticed that I don't know if they have all the big names doing all the voices in this one.
I don't think they have all of them. They do have the Jeff Goldblum, I think, is there, and some other ones. But then clearly, like, I don't think Jon Favreau is voicing Happy Hogan.
Right.
And some of the other ones.
Yeah, I mean, there's some of these concepts look pretty decent.
Oh, Annette Bening is voicing that lady from the first Captain Marvel movie in that one.
Marvel,
yeah. So she's actually doing it, which is good.
Yeah, I'm curious what if there's a through line on these stories or if it's disparate stories, because there was a through line on the one last year. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a strong opinion on it, to be honest.
I mean, this looks sick, actually. I kind of enjoy this. The animation looks even better than the first season. From some of the videos I watched, the through line may be that they are putting together another multiversal team to take down this version of Thanos that you see in these clips, possibly. Because the last episode is titled "What If Strange Supreme Intervened," and you kind of see that moment Thanos is fighting Captain America from Infinity War. I think Strange Supreme somehow comes out of that little bubble he was in where he's watching Ultron and Killmonger fight, and he intervenes to stop Thanos, and something happens. Ruggs, what about you? I'm excited to see Wenwu and the 10 Rings and some shit, because I want some more Shang-Chi, and they're giving it to us in animated form.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff that's going to happen, but I'm excited for the show. It's going to be cool during the Christmas season to pop a new episode every day.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun release.
You got something to watch,
It's and I also think they like to clear these out before the next one, so they just don't want anything on before Echo to give it some space. It drops all at once. But it is a very interesting.
So wait, did they drop it all at once the last time, or did they do piecemeal?
It came out weekly, like all the other shows.
Yeah, I like this.
This isn't even weekly. This is daily for 9 days. New episode.
I mean, these things are like 20 minutes long. So
yeah, I like the release too. 9.
Yeah, it's interesting.
9 days. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to have things like what if Nebula joined the Nova Corps? What if Peter Quill attacked Earth's mightiest heroes? What if Happy Hogan saved Christmas, which you see a little bit at the end where they do the little Die Hard joke in the action, the Die Hard copy movie jokes. It's kind of funny. Captain Carter.
What did you say?
Captain Farter.
Well, he's
caught the Hydra. Captain Farter is another version of this I need. I think
that's a real what if right there.
Yes, it should be Spider-Ham and Captain Farter take on Hydra. Somebody make that
Slow
happen.
down, Imran. Jesus Christ.
Captain Carter is gonna. Oh, that Captain Carter fights the Hydra Stomper. I feel like that is a sequel to the Captain Carter shit from last season. Where that Steve Rogers falls off the train instead of Bucky. That would mean he would get reprogrammed by the Russians and become the Winter Soldier and come after them. Maybe. I don't know. But fun stuff. You see the 1602 where they're like an old-timey 1602 clothes and they're using bows and arrows and shit. So, and then that Kahori one is called Kahori Reshape the World. That's the one with all the Native Americans. This is a new character. I don't know what is going on here. But she's got portaling powers. So I'm intrigued. I like it. Jeffrey Wright as the Watcher is fantastic also.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a light entertainment. It doesn't really have big impact on the rest of the Marvel. You could just kind of enjoy it for what it is.
It's what Marvel needs right now. Just something we can enjoy for what it is. Okay, let's move on to the other part of Marvel, the part that is owned and mismanaged by Sony. Except somehow they can put out 2 amazing fucking animated movies and then just shit live action. This Madam Web movie is actually happening. Kind of surprised. Oh shit. Didn't believe it at first. There's a trailer. They made it. It's coming. It's confusing. Anthony, let's just get into it. I'll explain who these people are. They are all people from the 900 Spider-Man characters Sony owns. But without your Spider-Man, becomes very confusing.
Yeah.
What do you think this movie is about? What did you think about this trailer?
Oh man, forgot that this movie was being made. Forgot that Dakota Fanning was the lead.
Dakota Johnson. I get that wrong. Also,
yeah,
okay.
Dakota Johnson, Dakota Fanning, whatever. South Dakota, North Dakota, whatever you want.
White girl names. Am I right? I mean, come on.
Yeah. I watched the trailer.
Yeah,
and I guess what can she like? See the future? That's what it is. She can see the fucking future.
It's like
I looked her up after the trailer, and I was like, oh, she's a fucking old woman in the comics.
That's her. This is her young, apparently.
Oh, okay,
but it's the same person.
Yeah, I mean, this might be the worst of the bunch for Sony.
Worse than Morbius?
Might be. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, look at who is this villain? I mean, what am I looking at?
I can explain that too.
This is. Why? Like, what is going on with this?
Why is it?
Yeah, it was awful. It was awful. I mean, the trailer was whatever, but it's just terrible. It's dead on arrival.
Can I just play for you the best line that's ever been spoken in any trailer in any movie that you're going to hear in this movie? A line that has been memed to death already. I think you know.
He was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died.
That is just. What is that? What the exposition of a guy we haven't met in a horrible delivery and just like cut in? Was that necessary? That line. Have you seen the memes about that line, Anthony? All over the internet.
No, I haven't.
You haven't.
It was like the same thing. Remember when Godzilla versus Kong was coming out, and he's like, "Godzilla's hurting people. We need to find out why."
He was with
like,
my mom in the Amazon when she was researching spiders before she died. Really? Yeah, this looks bad.
That tells you everything you need to know.
It looks like CW type stuff. I mean, what is this?
It looks like a direct-to-video thing with a confusing dark Spider-Man. What the fuck?
It's like Sony saw Marvel put out Ant-Man Quantumania and Captain Marvel, the Marvels 2, and went, oh, bitch, hold my drink.
Yeah, they're like, you think you're putting up bad movies? Hold this beer.
Yeah.
I got all women. And
we got something for you.
I got diversity.
I gotta say this though, the girls are at least looking hot, so that's a step in the right direction.
And isn't one of them Spider-Woman?
Yes. So
all of them are
all of them. Here's the thing: Dakota Johnson plays Cassandra Webb, who is Madam Web from the comics. Sydney Sweeney plays Julia Carpenter, who has been a Spider-Woman in the comics. Isabella Merced plays Anya Corzone, who is also known as Aranya and also has been a Spider-Girl in the comics. And Celeste O'Connor is playing Maddie Franklin, who has also been a Spider-Woman in the comics.
But none of these are Jessica Drew.
No Jessica Drew, which is kind of interesting. You have now. Here's where it gets weird. Emma Roberts is playing a character named Mary Parker, and Adam Scott that you see in the trailer is playing Ben Parker. This is a young Uncle Ben, I believe, and Peter Parker's mom, Mary. Now, we see this time bending stuff. We see them mention like he's trying to change the past. Ezekiel is the bad guy, and he does not it's so confusing. In the comics, Ezekiel with this guy who got Spider-Man powers through like a ritualistic method, and instead of like being a superhero, he became like a corporate bigwig. He ran a corporation, got rich. He sees Spider-Man, he tracks him down after many years of just studying him, and Ezekiel goes to Spider-Man and tells him that there is this spider totem the spider that bit you was always supposed to bite you. It was your fate. It wasn't, how Spider-Man, and it was kind of controversial because how Spider-Man's like any kid could be Spider-Man. It could have bit anyone.
Yeah.
Ezekiel tells Peter, no, it was supposed to be you. And anyways, but he just wears a suit and just like a blazer and a shirt. Doesn't have a costume. I don't understand what's happening. Anyways, all this to say, it's possible in this movie, this Ezekiel is trying to stop Peter Parker from ever being born. I don't know. It's confusing. But yeah, this is bad.
Coming out, it's just really bad. These are really bad ideas.
Yeah, didn't Spider-Man get like crazy powers after that in the other with Morlun.
Oh yeah, then he had to fight the vampire dude. Yes, Morlun was part of it. And
wasn't like Ezekiel the guy who was basically telling him that Morlun was coming? He was
hunting all the spider
totems.
Yeah. But there's always been this thing about animal totems in Spider-Man, right? All his bad guys are kind of based off animals. So this is created by J. Michael Straczynski, John Romita Jr., the original Ezekiel. So part of me, this is bad, but I'm like intrigued about like if this is time travel or she could see the future or what the fuck. You briefly do see like the black and white costume. You see them in costume.
The only saving grace about like this, like because they're pulling from like the downfall of Spider-Man, right? Like the last throes of Spider-Man before it went to shit with like One More Day and all that other stuff,
right?
And like this was like the only saving grace in this story is it was like it was pretty fucking violent. Like Spider-Man and Morlun were going at it. There was a lot of shit, a lot of revelations. Spider-Man got new powers. If you don't have Spider-Man in there, what do you got? I don't know. And you're trying to tell the story with fucking Ezekiel, and maybe it's like a precursor to Spider-Man finally being allowed to play in the Sony camp again. I don't know. It's just one of those things that Spider-Man being absent, really, you're really going to feel it. All these characters that are existing without Spider-Man. They got Ben Parker, Mary Parker.
Yeah, Uncle Ben.
It's just so weird.
It takes place in the 2000s.
Who, Ezekiel is the bad guy in this?
I guess, yeah.
Why is he wearing a Spider-Man costume?
I don't know, because he's like a spider totem.
Well, he's got spider powers, too.
He's going to have spider powers from some spider. But the way they explain this is his mother was in the Amazon researching spiders before she died. Like, that's how they get to the spider finally. I heard another rumor that the next Spider-Man movie may be the one where they get him into the Sony universe. But I think they should just have another adult Spider-Man that they can do Spider-Man stories here at Sony. And then Tom Holland's Spider-Man is over here.
If you could have two Batmans, why can't you have
just have two fucking Spider-Man? Two different universes. Whether it's whoever, Andrew Garfield, whoever, new person, doesn't matter.
Yeah, these Sony movies are bad.
What a mess. And they're making Venom 3.
They're making Venom 3? Wow.
Oh, yeah. That's in production right now.
When is Kraven coming out?
Kraven comes out next year. Let's not forget about that. And it's all the same thing. He was bit by a lion, and now he has lion powers. Same thing with Morbius. Same thing. It's all the same shit over and over again.
When is this supposed to come out? Kraven will come out August 30th, 2024.
Oh, and Madam Web's coming out Valentine's Day 2024. Before Kraven? Oh, shit. In February, not far off.
Take a date to see that movie.
Holy shit, I'll be there to see this train wreck.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Whatever it is. Let's move on to the next trailer. Let's move over to the DC. We got another trailer for the last DC EU old regime movie, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. This is the tickets are on sale trailer, so everybody get some tickets. Anthony, what'd you think of this one? We got some new footage, new different tone.
Yeah, it looks like it's like in line with what we would expect from this movie. It's still very colorful, very a lot going on, a lot of visual eye candy. Black Manta wants to just take down Aquaman, and he made a deal. It looks like he made a deal with the devil, got some power,
green thing,
and probably that power corrupted him. Similar shit you see and everything. Curious, they played up Aquaman having a son, but we don't see any Mira.
There's no Mira. He's talking to that baby, and I'm going to say this: don't get too attached to that baby. They kind of hint at it at the trailer, right? The last of the bloodline. That's what Black Manta wants.
I think we've talked about this movie. I think there's a lot of stuff out there that the movie has not tested well, and it's been a mess.
They killed the baby.
Possibly.
Yeah, they might have to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Throw the baby out.
I mean, it's a lame duck movie. I guess I don't think that it can do any worse than the Marvels, though, can it?
So that's funny you say that, because I watched this, dude. There's creatures. It's epic. There's this crazy action. There's octopus ships. And I was like, this looks like it's better than the Marvels already. The second trailer looks like it's going to just throw everything at there.
But is there singing?
I don't know. Is there octopus play? There was an octopus playing the drums in the first one. I want to see more. There's going to be like an underwater reggae band. It's going to be better Little Mermaid.
Is there gonna be cats eating people?
The Little Mermaid will be there with Sebastian, probably. I don't know. There's crabs. He's riding a seahorse. There's all this crazy shit in this fucking trailer. No Mira at all. It's hilarious. But this gave me a little more geek boner to it looks like a fun ride, right? It looks like it's gonna be.
It looks like a big movie.
Yeah,
it looks like a big
epic.
blockbuster film.
Absolutely.
It looks like they put a lot of money into it. I don't see any egregious CG on people's faces, that's usually a dead giveaway when the movie's bad. In that aspect, that usually pulls you right out. But Black Manta looks pretty cool.
Black Manta looks sick, dude. That fucking suit and the trident and all these monsters. So they're doing a lot here. We'll see. December 22nd. Oh,
you know, Nicole Kidman's got a bun in the oven, and that's what I heard.
Oh, really?
Is that true? Yeah.
Who's she with now? Not Tom Cruise. That was a long time ago.
No, with that dude, that fucking country dude.
Not Blake Shelton. He's married to Gwen Stefani.
Who's Nicole Kidman dating? Is that what we're asking?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Is she pregnant? We don't.
I don't know. That's what I heard. I don't. It might not be true.
She's got to be in her 60s, right? I don't think is that possible.
She's in her late 50s.
Still seems very unlikely.
These days, I don't know. Janet Jackson had kids when she was 50.
I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe she's not having it, and someone else is doing it.
These days, anything is possible with money. Yeah, you got a great Momoa. Yeah, also in this trailer. Aquaman. Yeah. Jason Momoa hosted.
They're adopting a baby.
They're adopting. That explains it. Momoa hosted this week's Saturday Night Live, which I found mostly unfunny.
Except for one thing.
Except for one sketch, which dealt with that men think about the Roman Empire all the time. That's all they think about. They just did a whole thing about it. It was kind of fun.
I loved it because there's two parts in it where they cut to look what you're doing to your son. And the son's like, you got him thinking about Rome. And he's like, no, I'm thinking about dinosaurs.
Yes. Kids think about dinosaurs. Women think about, what was it? Astrology. And men just think about Rome all the time.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny. One sketch was literally just him with his shirt off, making fun of another guy who's skinny with his shirt off. That was it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it wasn't good. I didn't think it was that good. Finishing up, this also, that trailer posted today. This bit of news also just posted today. Apparently, James Gunn has found his Lex Luthor for Superman Legacy, and it's going to be Nicholas Hoult.
Okay.
That's not bad.
I don't think that's a bad casting.
No, he's good. And I can see
he's
him.
A tall drink of British dude.
I could see him bald.
Is he British?
And villainous.
Yeah.
He's an English actor. Yes, he is.
Kidding.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
I saw him when he was a young boy in Skins.
He was the Beast.
He was the Beast in Days of Future Past. He was that. He was in Mad Max Fury Road. Remember, he got sprayed with the silver.
Witness me.
Yeah, he was great. He was fucking crazy in that movie. Switching sides.
Actor. Yeah, I think him as a younger. Well, he's not young anymore. He's 33.
Yeah,
middle age. Look, that's not even middle age. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
That's
as Lex Luthor.
Yes,
is good.
Yeah, bald head
better than Jesse Eisenberg.
Absolutely better casting already than Jesse Eisenberg. Yeah, he was great in The Menu. He's just in Renfield with Nicolas Cage. He's good. So
thumbs up.
Aside from Dark Phoenix, woof. It's not his fault.
No, that's not.
All right, that's it for the news. Let's take a break. We'll play some promos. We're going to come back and talk about Godzilla and Kaijus on TV right after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey there, everyone. Brian here, host of TV Trivia Pod. It's a trivia-style podcast focusing on TV and movies. Listen in for questions like, what's the name of Michael Scott's screenplay? What do you say to view the Marauders map? And what's everyone eating in the post-credit scene of Avengers? Play along to TV Trivia Pod anywhere you get podcasts. And stay tuned for more trivia.
What's up? This is Brian, and I'm the host of Citizens of Pawnee, a Parks and Recreation podcast. That's right, a podcast dedicated to my favorite TV show, Parks and Rec. Every week I discuss my favorite things about the show, which include character breakdowns, episode rewatches, and other random facts and tidbits about the show. You can find me on Instagram at Citizens of Pawnee Podcast and listen wherever you get your podcast now. You will literally love it.
Jock and Nerd.
Listener, if you enjoy the show, make sure you join our Patreon fan club. Visit jockandnerd.com/Patreon.
Jock and Nerd.
And you can give back to the show, support the show on a monthly or annual basis. And you get stuff like access to an exclusive podcast feed where the shows come out early. There is bonus content there. Hours more stuff that's never come out on the main feed lives on that additional exclusive feed. You can hang out with us monthly on our Discord. We just had one last week. It was lots of fun. It's great seeing everybody. The next one will be Thursday, December 14th, 8 p.m. Put it in your books. And you can pick any movie you want for us to review. Watch and review just for you. There's a t-shirt tier. A lot of fun stuff over there. Check it out. jockandnerd.com/Patreon. Okay, this week, let's get to the review this week. We are going to be reviewing the first 2 episodes of the Apple TV Plus show, Monarch, Legacy of Monsters. Here's your spoiler alert.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
The show created by Chris Black and developed by Chris Black and Matt Fraction for Apple TV Plus. That Matt Fraction, the comic book Matt Fraction.
Wow.
Yeah. These first 2 episodes also directed by Matt Shankman, who did WandaVision.
And he's doing the movie we talked about earlier, Fantastic Four.
And he's directing Fantastic Four. That is correct. On Rotten Tomatoes, I want to see what right now on the tomato meter, the show's sitting at 85%. Not bad. Critics, 7.5 out of 10, 90% audience rating. And we'll get into the cast as we get into the show. But the big, of course, get here is Kurt Russell and his son Wyatt Russell, the punchable Captain America from that one show.
Oh, yeah. The U.S. agent.
We all wanted to punch him in Captain America, the Winter Soldier. I don't know why. Just has that face. Does he live? Is he more than just a punchable face? We'll find out. Anthony.
He is.
You just watched these 2 episodes.
I did.
What happens? How does this show start out? When does it take place? What is happening?
Oh, it takes place over a lot of time. It's jumping right now between a little bit after the incident in San Francisco, so 2015.
Yeah.
And also jumping back to the 50s a little bit. Premise here is this Japanese American girl lost her dad shortly around after Godzilla attacked San Francisco.
G-Day.
She goes back to Japan to clean up his affairs, has some keys to his place, and finds out that there's a much deeper mystery here with him having another wife, another kid, potentially being tied into Monarch, and they're informing us of the secret history of Monarch, while Monarch also tries to catch these people that are trying to figure out what happened with their dad and how he's tied into Monarch.
There's Files. There's John Goodman.
There's Files. There's John Goodman. That's what you follow.
There's
up with.
2. They're telling 2 stories, right? Kind of at the same time. One in the 50s of John Goodman, young John Goodman, and Lee Shaw.
It took me. I had to read on the internet that was a young John Goodman.
Yeah, that
John
guy from Anders Holm from Workaholics. He was hilarious in Workaholics. He's playing young Bill Randa.
Yeah, so in maybe 20 years, he's going to look like John Goodman.
I don't know if that timing works out, because then you got Lee Shaw, and in the same amount of time, he looks like Kurt Russell. I don't know. I guess that kind of works. But in the past, we're showing you how Kate, the girl from 2015, her grandparents in Kintaro, how they meet and how they're investigating radiation and things all over in the Philippines. So it's an interesting double storyline. What did you think? You guys are the Godzilla guys. Well, this was a big event, lots of money, big production. How'd these first 2 episodes hit you, Anthony?
Yeah, like you mentioned earlier, I just watched these. I like them. I like them. I think I like the idea of there being this mystery that's unwinding and it going through different time periods, and there being Monarch, the shadow organization that maybe there's more to it. The thing that always is tough with Godzilla shit in general is like no one gives a fuck about the human characters.
Right.
So this is putting the human characters in this mystery up front, which I think a good solid mystery is always a good crutch to rely on, and putting the monsters in the background. And so far I like it, to be honest. I thought the first scene of the show was a good tone setter with the...
I like the John Goodman opening.
Well, yeah, and the spider fighting a crab.
That was great. We've seen that spider before in Skull Island.
We have.
Yeah.
And there's some good... I like the perspective of it being completely from the human side. Like, we see the horrors of these monsters. You know, you see the bus with the kids fall through because of Godzilla.
Yeah.
You see the grandma at the end of the first episode as a young child getting devoured by Muta. Like, it's a much more dark, brutal show. It's leaning more into the Godzilla 2014 rather than the Godzilla versus Kong or Kong versus Godzilla vibe. So if you're not a fan of the wackiness, it doesn't seem to be leaning into that as much. So then you got fucking Kurt Russell on a Godzilla show. So
right.
I like it.
All right. Yeah, no, I love the world building also, like how he's treated as like a nature event, like a tornado, right? There's like Godzilla evacuation routes and evacuation centers and drills and conspiracies that like San Francisco never happened. Ruggs, what'd you think watching these 2 episodes?
I liked a lot of aspects of it. I think it's solid. All the actors are doing a good job. The direction's good. There is a feeling of like suspense and wanting to know more. I wasn't like, oh, I'm not going to watch. I feel like I'm going to finish this whole thing. I'm excited about it. This is their way of unraveling the mystery of Monarch and maybe shedding some light on where these Titans are and what they're doing with them. And not only that, but putting a more serious tone to this monsterverse, which was pretty wacky and outlandish. And if they could kind of fill in a lot of the gaps that Godzilla versus Kong kind of just like leapt over, and maybe make some of the stuff that was suggested at the end of King of the Monsters make sense with the radiation and these groups that want to free the monsters and all that stuff. They can do a lot of heavy lifting here. So yeah, my only fear is that they're going to kind of slowly reveal everything, and hopefully there's some kind of a payoff at the end of this. So, but I am interested to see what they reveal. If there's anything like unexpected or anything that's kind of like, whoa, like this is cool. Like I wasn't expecting this, or you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because I kind of know I've watched all the movies, so I know what's going to happen.
The timeline is interesting because now they're filling in the holes before Kong Skull Island and in between Godzilla 2014 and King of the Monsters. So they could make that movie be more impactful.
Yeah, I do think that like they kind of, like it's saying Godzilla versus Kong, they talked about that. They discovered the fucking Hollow Earth.
Right.
And they kind of just gloss over it.
And we're getting hints of that already in this one, I think, because I have a bunch of questions.
And then you get the acceleration of technology. So when you ride through Japan in this one, they got these giant fucking missile things everywhere.
Yeah, they're ready.
So you could tell that something like this is going to like just like the moon, like the race to the moon, because like everybody's on full steam to like fucking.
At this point, they don't know where Godzilla is. Right after 2014, he just kind of fucks off and heads east, west. He heads west. We were in San Francisco.
Pacific Ocean.
So they don't know where he is. So they got to be ready. You know what? I thought both episodes gave you just enough monster action and like the best human characters we possibly had in any of these MonsterVerse movies so far. Like
since Cranston,
since the Bryan Cranston.
There's a good. I mean, the Kate. I kind of sometimes I think she's a good looking chick.
Yeah, Anna Sawai,
and that is really how you value women. So we'll stay with that. But number two,
though, yes,
just kidding.
Yeah,
number two. I find her character sometimes be a little off-putting, but sometimes I like her.
Yeah,
I feel like it doesn't make sense for her to like. She's kind of a bitch in the beginning.
Yes.
She barges into this person's house and then like doesn't understand why they'd be like, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah, just tell them what.
And like she does like gives them no information on like their dad. Like she just drops a bombshell on them and then like I gotta go.
And then she could speak Japanese the whole time, so she knows what they're saying.
It's just like, why are you acting like that? But still, overall, I do like the characters, like Rugg said, more than normal for a Godzilla stuff. And I like the flashbacks to those characters. I like the young Kurt Russell, aka Wyatt Russell.
Yeah, he's good in this.
Yeah,
I feel like that's the strongest part of the show.
Yeah,
is when you're going back in time.
I was going to ask which storyline is getting you more. I'm a little more interested in the 1950s storyline after these 2 episodes.
Well, that one they're like figuring out that there's monsters, whereas this modern storyline is like, what does the dad have to do with it?
Yeah, so
and is he alive? Which he probably
that's
is.
Definitely alive. That's the real mystery, I think.
Yeah,
is the dad alive?
Hiroshi Randa, we've never met him in anything, right? This is like a new character.
Yeah, he's never. This is new. This is all.
Yeah, hopefully. Go ahead, Rugg. Sorry, Imran.
No. I think the dad. We are going to find out where the dad is, and even the grandmother. You know, at the end of the first episode, we see they find the eggs, and those little bugs come out, and she seemingly gets eaten by those bugs. Is she dead? Maybe, maybe not. The mystery of the Lawton, the USS Lawton, the World War II ship that's just in the middle of a valley. How the fuck that ship get there? And I think it all ties to the tunnels connecting Hollow Earth in the ground.
Yeah, maybe. I think yeah, the flashback scenes are really good. I think the thing that's going to make the show something more is, like, although the flashbacks are good, we know what Monarch is. It's a shadowy organization that's known about Godzilla and all these titans. But if there's a good payoff to what the dad is doing, and if the flashbacks further enhance what we find out with the dad, then they'll have something. It's 2 episodes in, so I like it so far. It's built on mystery. You just got to be able to pay that off, right?
That was my question too, is how are these 2 storylines going to impact each other? So sometimes it's a little confusing trying to remember whose fucking grandfather is who and who's related to what when they're doing this, but
a good writer will have a payoff that we couldn't see coming until it ends, and then we're like, oh, the crumbs were all there.
Yeah. And how, the character of May, Kiersey Clemens, is kind of fun too. How does she fit into all this? But seeing Kurt Russell was great, and he's all in some Monarch nursing home prison. And he's just like, go get out of here.
I heard a rumor that it's a ruse. Like, Kurt Russell, like, he's trying to draw them out.
Oh.
And because he wants to go find the dad for his own reasons.
Oh.
That's a theory. That's a theory that's out there. But because the minute those kids show up, he's like right on board.
Yeah, and he does weird things where he's like, let's go outside. He doesn't want to talk in front of the cameras, but there's cameras everywhere. And like he knew they were going to come and find him. I think that Kintaro's mom also knows more than she's letting on. She kind of helped him escape and sent them towards Lee Shaw.
They did mention alien shit really briefly, and then they just kind of hand waved it away.
That was in the 50s when Keiko was talking to Bill. Because he says he coined the term muto, which I don't think they ever addressed, like, who came up with that term. That's kind of interesting. And she's like, oh, you think they're terrestrial, not space aliens. But there was a space alien.
Yep.
There was. King Ghidorah is a space alien. Yeah, so I think it's good. I think it's a good start. I'm curious, Ruggs, you're more plugged into the fandom than I am, especially since I just watched it today. But are people liking this?
I think the people that are open to Legendary are liking it.
Okay.
I think the people that are on board with Legendary are into it. I think the people that are kind of purists or whatever you want to call them are probably shitting all over this. The main reason is it's like it further confirms that Godzilla has. See, one of the sticking points of like a Godzilla purist is that Godzilla is tied to some kind of nuclear disaster.
Mm-hmm.
And it is like a result of a nuclear disaster that he is powerful and angry with humanity, whatever. And this tries to make Godzilla into an animal, a hero, and virtually the bombs have nothing to do with Godzilla other than to like annoy him.
He's a force of nature.
Yeah, and like it more to do with the Mutos than anything else.
Right. They feast on the bombs.
Yeah. So I think that they're not. I don't think they're. If they somehow retcon that in this show, I mean, maybe it could be an interesting thing to get some of those fans back. I don't think they're going to do that. If you look at the timeline that's there, like there's no mention. There's because the boat gets attacked, the Lawton gets attacked in 1943, and the bombs don't go off until 45. I mean, there could be if they do say that he was just a sea monster at that point, and not Godzilla as we know it. There is a rumor that like, but then they've already addressed this in the comics that I don't know if the comics are canon, but there was a Godzilla called Dagon that was ancient, and even in the cave paintings, there's ancient Godzillas. So yeah, it has nothing to do with the nuclear shit. So that's like turns off a lot of fans.
I remember in the first one, they were saying that when they were testing the atom bombs in the like 40s and 50s in the ocean, that they weren't actually testing them; they were trying to kill Godzilla.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. You're right. I don't know if I don't think there was a tie to him being a nuclear enhancement.
Nuclear beast.
Yeah,
he was always existed. There's radiation involved because of at the period all of these monsters existed. There was a high level of radiation on the planet.
Oh, right.
So I forgot what the name of the period was.
Also, what's all that blue goo? Wasn't there like a blue rock?
Blue rocks, yeah.
Methanite or something.
Oh, that was with this dragon thing at the end.
In the ship, which it was really creepy. That was a great scene. And that's a new, I believe that's a new creature, a new kaiju that they made for the show. But how did that ship get there?
I think either King Ghidorah picked it up and dropped it there. Rodan, or any of those.
Could it have been dragged through these hollow earth tunnels from
it? Could have.
Yeah.
It went down.
I don't know. I did read online, unless they ponied up some money for the remainder of these episodes, that with their current agreement with Toho, they got to pay to use these characters.
Oh.
So I don't know if we're going to see many of the old school Godzilla. We might just be seing new.
They got to make new ones.
Kaiju.
Okay.
Yeah, or something to that effect.
Yeah.
Like some big monster that they have could have carried it there.
Right. I mean, in the first one, they give you the great shot from the 2014 movie from the ground level on the bridge, and like that's enough to keep it going. But I'm down to see some new creatures. That's okay. It is, especially since it's in the 50s.
Well, it doesn't. I mean, we talked about this. I think I talked about this when this was announced. I was like, how do you make a show about kaiju on TV because it's going to cost a lot? And we've already see what they're doing. It's not really about the kaiju.
No, it's about
the kaiju are like part of the story, but it's like superfluous to what the real. It's the mystery.
It's like X-Files, kind of like, but instead of like aliens and shit, they're looking at for kaiju.
Right.
And they just give you, I don't know if every episode will get a little bit of something, but there's 10 episodes.
Well, we know that there's like a scene with Godzilla in a desert.
Oh, there is another scene. Oh, okay.
There is another scene where they're in the Arctic with some monster with tentacles on his face.
Oh, right. They do.
So there's at least two monster scenes. I don't think the kaiju that's in the Arctic is big enough to be a threat to God. It's kind of like one of the smaller ones. It's not like a 300-foot one. It's more like a 30-foot kaiju or something like that. So it's not on the same level as Godzilla. You know what I mean? So
there's a lot of Easter eggs in this show, and all the maps and all the locations and where all the Titans are in the Earth. But I would think Godzilla fans would be. I think it's kind of crazy that there is a prestige Godzilla TV show on right now. Did you ever?
It's a win. It's definitely a win.
100%.
Yeah,
that would be my. I haven't looked at the fandom, what they've said lately, but that would be my thing. It's like, guys, this was a character that was on. What was that fucking Svengoolie?
Yeah,
like back in the day, and now you have Kurt Russell, 80s cult hero on an Apple TV Plus in a Godzilla show.
Jack Burton and Godzilla. What more do you want?
Right. It's just like, I mean, this, we've come a long way, guys. We've come a long way.
Well, yeah, now he's a cultural icon.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that his visibility is so much.
And you're getting this, and you know what? If you don't like it, -1 is out. Like you're getting both.
It's amazing. Like so much great Godzilla content. This really got me excited for -1.
I don't know if it's great, but there's more content than you've ever had before in your life.
Yeah, Godzilla fans are eating well. But I bought my tickets to -1. It's coming out December 1st. You can see it November 30th. But now I'm excited to see that retelling of the nuclear bomb, from the 40s Godzilla story. And that movie looks sick. And I was surprised it was playing down the street at the AMC. There was only 2 showings. They're only showing it twice in a day. But I was surprised.
You're talking about -1?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I want to know if they're going to play it with captions or subtitles.
Yeah, so -1 drops December 1st for all of you guys out there that want to go see it. I think it's like a fan event. You can probably see it the day earlier.
We'll be reviewing that. I can't wait for that.
And we will totally be reviewing it. And I'm going to see it very soon. So I'm super excited. Bilotti, at this very moment as we record this podcast.
He's seeing it right now, huh?
Yeah, he's wearing 3 pairs of pants to hold the jizz that he's going to shoot out of his baby.
I was going to say, he the whole day leading up to the show, or anywhere he was going, he was just cartwheeling. So he just starts cartwheeling all day until he gets into the theater.
He's convulsing. His eyes have rolled back into his head. Just constant vibration.
There's going to be so much artwork coming out of his pants.
Just spewing ink, pixels. Oh, all the pixels. Bilotti, John, send us an audio review or something when you see it. I want to know right away.
No spoilers, though.
Spoiler free, yes. Make it spoiler free, and
that's part of the reason I've been avoiding any Godzilla discourse when it comes to even the show. Is I just don't want to see something that I shouldn't have seen.
Yeah,
because inevitably it's all going to get mixed together.
And that's going to come, and we will still be able to enjoy this show, Monarch Legacy of Monsters, coming out every Wednesday. There are 10 episodes. It will take us into January, the second week in January.
Yeah, I mean, Apple TV Plus is known for making some pretty good shit. So
quality stuff. Look, they got
this was something they decided they wanted to be a part of. So with that in mind, I'm sure it's at least at the very least it's decent.
Yeah, there's clearly like the production and the budget, everything is top notch. It's like HBO level.
Yeah, there's nothing that seems like it's silly. It just
it's very grounded.
The biggest thing that it could do wrong is be boring.
Yeah,
right.
And like that's like I don't see it like being silly or dumb or just ridiculously bad. I think it's just going to be, it'll be well acted, well shot, but like, ultimately might not be an action packed adventure. Mm-hmm. And I think that as long as it treats the material properly and helps the Monsterverse at large, like be a better Monsterverse and maybe allow for some introductions, some cool monsters that we could want to see in the future, maybe a second season of a show. Like those are all things that could happen if people like it. So
yeah, the mystery is
if
solid.
It does what it's supposed to do.
It's and it's definitely got me hooked. I say new episodes every Fridays. Did I say Wednesdays? I don't know what I'm saying. Fridays.
Wednesdays is Invincible.
No, that's like Thursdays. Wednesdays is something else. I forget. There's too much shit coming out. Invincible's like on Thursday/Friday. And then this is good stuff. All right. Good stuff. Let's finish up with some. Oh, wait. We got news from the nation.
It's what am I doing? News from the nation. It's time for news from the nation.
It stinks. It stinks. It stinks.
I got one comment from the Monarch spoiler thread. Yeah, that I put in the group about Monarch's out. Watch it. It's from Nick Shev.
Of course.
Yeah. I don't even know if he left this comment before or after he watched the show. Whatever. I'm going to read it. He says, I would really love for the Monsterverse to explain how radiation and these radioactive creatures work in this universe. Give us a 10-minute crash course so we know the stakes and what the hell is going on instead of treating the stuff like the Force. This franchise seems to be obsessed with focusing on very basic level family drama and not the Titans. I hope this series changes that, but it's not looking hopeful.
Well, the word radiation is very general.
Yeah.
Right.
We tend to put a negative connotation on it, but literally anything that has energy radiates.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about the classic version of like nuclear radiation, if it's specifically nuclear fallout and all that stuff like that, okay, that's one thing, but the sun is radiating energy and obviously helps plants grow and fucking does good things. You can't live without the sun's radiation. So I feel like these creatures are either absorbing and transforming radiation into maybe taking the nuclear elements out of it
isotopes.
And redistribute.
Yeah.
Maybe redistributing the radiation in a different way. I don't know, because they seem like they were talking about their Geiger counters, like dropping, the radiation drops.
Right.
So maybe they're absorbing it.
Well, the A for atom bomb, stands for appetizer, is what he says. That's what Wyatt Russell. I love Imran's contribution there. Imran just goes nuclear isotopes.
No, but you can track
like
them.
as if you fucking what the hell you're talking about.
That's what they were following, the nuclear isotopes, and you can track them with the trailer radiation. But then I liked how they were like, "Oh, there's no radiation here," because they ate all the radiation, but they leave a trail of radiation. So which one is it? I don't know.
What I would say to Nick is you're not going to get what you're asking for, man. If you're going into the show with already preset expectations of what you want out of it without even watching the whole thing, you're not going to get that out of it, man. This is something, this looks like a more of a mystery family thing
it's definitely
what you're asking for.
It is definitely a family drama.
If it does do that, that'd be great. If it's somehow made sense of their nonsensical use of radiation. Even in any weird sci-fi thing, they try to explain it away with something, and they haven't even tried at this point.
To me, it sounds like they just eat it.
Yeah, their feet.
They absorb it in some way. Yeah,
it's their food.
Yeah.
Like, remember in the original Godzilla, when in the Philippines they were digging up the Mudos, and it woke one up, and it burrowed all the way to Japan, and that's how a nuclear fallout thing, that power plant collapsed.
The meltdown happened.
Yeah. So it seems. I mean, I don't know. To me, it seems like that's what it is. They eat it.
They eat it. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I got from this episode.
I don't know what that means. Like, they eat it. That's what it is.
Well,
it's like the smog monster sitting on top of the smokestack and getting bigger.
Yeah,
eating the pollution.
Plants take in the sun's radiation, and you make stuff with it. I think it's the same way. They probably it goes through their skin or something, and they absorb it.
Yeah.
I don't think they're drinking it.
I don't know if you can
chewing
drink
on it.
Yeah, I don't know if you could chew on it either, but yeah.
You gotta lick it.
Yeah, is that what you do? Is that how you got the way you were?
Yeah, I licked some radiation. It was a bad idea. I was trying to become Spider-Man, and things went very wrong. I like this family drama, though. Like, it's like, oh, you find out your dad had another family. What the fuck's going on?
I don't mind it.
That's good. And
when I think about it, I'm like, if I was in that perspective, I'd be really confused too. I'd be like, wait a minute, I had a sister that I never knew about.
Yeah, they'll find their dad someplace. All right, let's finish. Now we can finish up with what are we
Thank
watching?
God she didn't do 23andMe.
Oh, jeez, yeah, that would have cleared everything up. What are we watching? You guys caught up on the Invincible episode 3?
Yes.
I am as well.
Oh,
spoiler alert.
I do want to kind of talk about that. That was a crazy episode. I really enjoyed it.
This last one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
With Alan's story, and then I hit you with the credits, and then the show just keeps going for another 20 minutes. I was like, what the fuck? It was like a little mini episode within an episode.
Called Alien.
It was called Alien instead of Alan. Now, in this, spoilers again.
Instead of Invincible.
Oh, they crossed it out. It was the Alan show. I love Alan. Seth Rogen voicing that character, who also, I think he produces this.
He was in the first one.
Yes. And it was always funny where he's like, oh, I'm supposed to be protecting Urath. And he's like, dude, this is Earth. He's like, oh, shit. We're the wrong planet. Anyways, we get his backstory and that he was made to be a warrior of the Viltrumites. And then they fucking kill him. And I was like, no, I felt bad for Alan.
Well, I liked before that, though. The narrator was trying to cut to something, and they both were having sex.
They were both boning, yes. Mark.
So he couldn't. He was like, "Oh, let's focus on this cat."
Yes. Look at this cat. Isn't he great?
They kill him.
And that was crazy. For him, with his eye just popped out and his fucking intestines.
Well, they kill him. He's alive, but then Peter Cullen's character,
that fucking
takes
guy,
him off life support.
He's the fucking mole. Don't trust that guy. What is happening? He's the one who's like, there's a mole, you gotta find him.
Yeah, Optimus Prime kills him.
Yeah, it's a great Optimus Prime. The voice cast, dude, is so good. Like, Daveed Diggs plays the other guy in therapy in that other storyline with the mom. But this voice acting is amazing. And I love that other storyline that she goes to a therapy group for spouses whose others have passed because of superheroes, and then realizes, oh, Omni-Man killed all these people's fucking loved ones.
Right.
The guy's like, I don't think you should come back anymore. I was like, oh, that's fucked up. That's a lot to bear. I like it.
Yeah, no, this was a good episode. Invincible always for me is delivered every time I've watched it, and this episode ends on a nice cliffhanger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean the voice acting is really good. They do a good job of having each episode be its own contained thing, but all somewhat tying into a bigger storyline, whether it be with the Omni-Man or whatever. What's his fucking face?
Cecil.
Not Cecil. The one in the last episode that's with the many brains.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, what is that guy's name? They did have a little bit with him going to different universes looking for Mark.
They have multiple threads that are building to bigger things.
Dude, that shit with the Immortal, and he was banging that multiple girl, and there was like 3 of them coming out of the shower. That was great. Because Jason Mantzoukas voicing the other guy is so pathetic. He's just like, oh, come on, really? So funny.
I love it. He's like they're talking about how he's all pissed off that she cheated on him, and she's like, you did the same thing.
What do you think is going to happen with the Martian?
Oh, that Martian character is wild. I'm kind of
I'm going to run in place.
Yes. Is there some place I can run in place? He's shaped.
He must act human.
But where did he come
acting
from?
so strange.
Yeah.
He came from, this happened last season. He was part of the alien group that infiltrated the astronauts.
Oh, so he's infected with the bad aliens.
That's right.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, and he pretended to be the astronaut.
They want to take over.
That's
too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a fun storyline too. Yeah.
Him running in fucking place
on the treadmill.
Was so good.
It's so funny. Yeah, and then that cliffhanger, I kind of saw that coming. I was like, you're just gonna go with these fucking bug aliens? And Cecil's like, I can't let you go, and he's like, fuck you. And then they're like, you got to meet our leader. Idiot. You got to meet our leader. And I was like, I know it. It's gonna be his fucking dad and his fucking Omni-Man. That's where he's been hanging out. So that's gonna be good. It's a good show. Fuck.
It's a good show. It's a good show. And I really like. I remember this from the first season, but just caught my ear even more this season. The theme is so good for them. For him.
The music,
how it ends. Yeah, the music's like dun 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 dun. Like it's very epic.
Yeah,
it's a very good show.
Yeah, it's top notch.
Yeah,
fucking
it's like it's literally like it's like The Boys, but not. It's like because it's a cartoon. It's not it's dark, but it doesn't.
It's way more superhero. It's less
subversive.
They're leaning more into like the powers and the grandeur and like just how epic and operatic it can be.
He's been on multiple different planets already, and it's a little more fun in a weird way. It's like The Boys, but like fun. I don't know. It's the colors.
It's not as disturbing.
Yeah,
it is. It is more super. Like they are at the end of the day. Well, we don't know where it's going, but Mark Grayson is like a very noble character.
Yeah,
to like root for.
Yeah.
He wants to do good. He really does.
Right. And then you have like some really adult stuff with like the wife, Sandra Oh's character playing Debbie, and them banging, and then people get brutally murdered. It's just a good mix of everything.
Oh, I even love when they were about to bang, and she's like, "You're not gonna like break me, are you?" He's like, "I don't know."
Angstrom Levy was the guy I was talking about.
Oh, that's
voiced by Sterling K. Brown.
Yeah, he's with the crazy convoluted head. Oh, I can't wait to see what he's up to.
He wanted to kill Omni-Man.
Yeah.
And then Invincible stopped him, so now he wants to kill Invincible.
He's like going to kill all the Mark Graysons and all the universes, maybe.
But we don't even know. Like, Omni-Man is the first Viltrumite to even leave, so like there's this, what's going on with him?
Yeah.
Why he had a change of heart. Yeah. What's he like? So like, great cliffhanger at the end. Yeah, damn good show.
Why did he take off at the end? This is going to be very interesting. It's good. All right, you watch
stuff out there.
You watch anything else, Anthony?
No, I was in Los Angeles.
Oh, that's right. Checking out L.A. Ruggs, what'd you watch?
I watched the whole entirety of Scott Pilgrim Takes Off.
You watched the whole thing on Netflix already? God damn it.
I did.
I watched the first 2 episodes. So, don't spoil anything. I want to know what you think because they do something weird, something unexpected, and what I thought was going to be just a retelling of the comic book, which is a retelling of the movie. In the first episode, they do that. They go through like exactly what happens in the comic book, right, Ruggs? In the movie, he dreams about Ramona. He meets her at the party. He gets her to come over. They start hanging out, and then Sex Bob-omb has a show to play. And that's when the first Evil X shows up from the League of Evil X's.
Right.
And they battle, and in this show, that's how the first episode ends, and that battle ends differently.
Oh, shit.
I was not expecting that, and then I watched the second episode, and I was like, well, this is different.
Basically, without spoiling the whole thing, is that the focus of the show is not really Scott Pilgrim. He does take off. It says it in the title.
Yeah, he literally takes off. Okay.
And to be honest with you, I don't think it was the right decision.
No? Oh, no.
The ride is fun. Go along for the ride. There's a couple of episodes that go off the rails to me that like really have nothing to do with anything in the story that they just felt like doing.
Okay.
It's like, look, now we have room to do this and that. But I think the narrative of the original Scott Pilgrim was so elegant in its message, is that like when you start dating a girl, you have to deal with the baggage of the girl.
Yep.
You don't have to necessarily fight all their exes, but internally, if the girl has baggage, you're going to be dealing with that baggage for a while until you know how to get around it, how to like let it roll off your back, or how to like meet it head on and get to that relationship where you have the love of your life. And this did not do it as good. In my opinion, there's some interesting things, but I think that the OG story worked for a reason, and it was because that message is stronger than what they do here, which is basically, I'm not giving anything away, is that like just it's more about Ramona and
interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So which is fine because, you know, as Cartman said, put a lady in it.
Put a chick in it.
Yeah. So, and that's exactly what they did. They were just, everybody's doing it. Everybody's swapping people out and changing the story for no apparent reason. Like, I think what they could have done is told the story and then continued the story. So what happens when they get together? Like, what happens then?
Afterwards. Yeah.
So, and
he's got to battle him again to keep her or something, right?
Well, then I think maybe it's Scott's demons, you know, like, and things like that.
Oh, maybe it's his exes. Like, you have Envy Adams and you got Knives and all these other characters.
Right.
That could be interesting. I'll say I love the animation. I love the energy of it. It reminds me a lot of the comic book and the way they're using it.
It's beautifully done.
It's really well done. And
it's lots of fun. Some of the voices are better than others.
Okay.
Some of them seem like they're like cashing in. They're just like, they're just lazily doing it. But I think a lot of them are actually pretty good.
It felt like they're exploring, like, I kind of like the idea. Like, the rules are Scott has to fight all 7 evil exes to date Ramona, right? But what happens if he doesn't beat one of them, any of them along the way? What are the rules then? Who gets her? Is it that guy? Is it the guy at the top? Blah, blah, blah. So, like, this whole thing with this League of Evil Exes is kind of funny, but it's got me. So, all right, I'll watch the rest of it. They're short, you know.
It's a nice ride, but I think ultimately you're probably going to side with me and say that the OG is better.
Yeah, I did not expect it to deter and give us a whole new story like this. Right at the end of the first episode. So that was interesting. So, yeah.
I mean, it's got some great animation and some great fight scenes and some good stuff coming along the way.
It's fun.
So, yeah.
All right. Anything else you watched that was notable?
I did watch both Italian Hercules movies.
What? Why?
Now,
what are these?
So I'm gonna set it up. So I watched the Sylvester Stallone documentary and I watched the Arnold Schwarzenegger's documentary, and they both said that what drove them to bodybuilding was seeing these Hercules movies.
Oh, with that guy. Yeah.
Yes. So I'm like, I got to watch these movies now.
Okay.
And so they were filmed in Italy with a British guy, the British guy being Steve Reeve or whatever his name is. And he was the bodybuilder dude. But they filmed it in Italy, like kind of like spaghetti westerns, but they were like spaghetti, like sword and sandal movies.
Steve Reeves, that's his name.
Yes.
You're right.
So I'm like, I got to watch these movies. And they're basically, they take like Jason and the Argonauts and they just throw like fucking Hercules in there.
Mm-hmm.
And they're really like low budget movies, but since they're shot in Italy and they have like, you know, they don't need a backdrop. The backdrop's just naturally there. Like they could just, it's just like these tales, but they're really done low budget. And yeah, they dubbed the guy's voice.
You know, they made these movies starting in 1958 all the way through like 1985. Most of them being in the 50s and 60s. There's like 27 of these movies.
Yeah. So anyway, they were entertaining because the girls were unusually hot for the 50s.
Yeah, that's all right.
Like they were like really scantily clad. And they, you know, it's Greeks, it's Greek fucking mythology and shit like that. So it was fun. It was like, it's a very cartoony, like B movie, but I was glad I watched it. I'm like, that's what inspired.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like, he was like the first like big muscular action hero.
These are the guys that inspired Stallone and Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, so I just wanted to see the movie that inspired Arnold. I was just curious to see it, and now I have as a cinephile. I have that under my belt.
Well, they're all like G-rated or not rated or unrated.
Yeah, they're on YouTube. You can find them there. Yeah.
That's interesting and random. But
yeah, I don't know. I just felt like watching
I like it. And then anything else? What was the other thing? Wasn't there another thing? Zorro TV show. What about the Zorro TV show?
Oh, there is a Zorro TV show. There's a commercial out for it.
Does anybody care about the Zorro anymore? Is this still a thing?
You know what? It makes me upset that people don't care about Zorro. Like, everybody wants to talk about representation. You got the fucking Mexican fucking folk hero, and no one gives it. Like, the guy who inspired Batman, right?
Yeah.
He's a vigilante,
sure.
dresses in black.
Sure.
And no one cares about Zorro. So
I don't.
They can make it. Like, imagine they made, like, a new version of Zorro, like a new vigilante that's Mexican.
There's a teaser, and they're rebooting it for something. But... yeah, I don't know, Zorro. I don't know if they make it badass.
Like
maybe
Wilmer Valderrama was supposed to play him.
Oh my god!
And then that project got stalled. But then Antonio Banderas, who plays the best version of Zorro, as Puss in Boots,
and Zorro, wasn't he Zorro in the the one movie?
He wanted, you know who he wanted to be? Tom Holland. He wanted Tom Holland to be Zorro.
What? That doesn't make no sense.
He'd be better. He'd be a better Puss in Boots. I don't know. It's just weird shit.
I mean,
anyhow, it's all true what I'm saying.
If you make Zorro with like some John Wick action, maybe some cool fencing sword stuff. I don't know.
Well, I mean, like, I'm just saying, you have this old folk hero that's been existed for the longest time. There could be a legacy of Zorros who step in and fucking right the wrongs of fucking, you know, what's going on and whatever's going on in that area.
All right.
It'd be cool. Why not?
Sure, why not? That's going to do it then, everybody. Anthony, any final words? Any words of advice to help out our listeners?
Make sure you, if you have your Thanksgiving, which you should, do not undercook the turkey like Imran does every year.
Oh, no, I'm going to...
That is dog shit, that turkey he
I
makes.
offered you a chance to be a cop, and you blew it!
Remember that one year you cooked the turkey and you were showing us pictures? That looked like something you should feed, not even the dog.
No, it's
dude. That
funny
was
because
like
these are the most
raccoons.
beautiful pictures of a perfectly done turkey. And he's like, he writes back, throw it in the trash. He's like, that's an abomination.
The worst turkey I've ever seen.
And it was like,
Imran, do you like turkey?
I mean, it's all right. You know, this year I may try the spatchcock one.
What's that?
This is, spatchcock. You never heard of the spatchcock?
No.
It's where you cut out the spine and the back, and then you like flatten it down, and it just cooks more even, apparently. Okay. You kind of just flatten the bird instead of it being round. But
have you ever deep fried a turkey?
No, but those are delicious and very dangerous. You got to know what you're doing.
You know, start lots of fires to get started.
Yeah.
With that.
I've said this, I think, probably a couple times on this podcast over the years, but turkey, most overrated meat of all time.
It kind of is. You know, I'm fine if I don't have it.
No one ever orders turkey regularly.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
Right? Like if you're at a deli, is turkey the first thing you order?
Turkey sandwiches are very popular in the deli, but
are they more popular?
I do eat a lot of turkey, though. I really do.
It's good for like diets and stuff.
You might like. I'm just saying, not a lot of people. Not a lot of people are eating turkey outside the holiday.
Like I'm talking about cold cuts more and like ground turkey. Like you make like turkey meatballs.
Yeah.
turkey bacon,
turkey sausages.
I guess, yeah.
But you're not sitting there getting a big fucking turkey like roasted in the oven.
Like a big turkey leg is amazing. Just walk around and eat it and think you're
turkeys. I mean, it's good. It's just on the list of meats that I could eat.
Yeah,
it's probably down at the bottom.
Yeah.
I like any sort of like steaks, burgers.
Well, you get past
chickens.
the red meat first, yes, and then your alternate
pork. Even if you're the deli meats, like I'd rather have roast beef. I'd rather have salami, pepperoni, chicken.
I agree. Turkey's always like the last, and then after turkey is like the egg salad and the chicken salad.
Then now you're doing other shit.
Yeah.
That's my turkey hot take.
Yeah, turkey's like
have some duck this year.
overrated.
How about some duck, listener? Yummy duck. I don't know.
I don't know if I don't know if I've ever. I think I probably had duck, but I don't know that the taste has stayed with me.
Yeah, I had it once.
It could be gamey.
I like
Depending on what
alligator.
you get.
Speaking of gamey, alligator's pretty good.
There's the new Thanksgiving meat.
Yeah, have alligator.
Alligator
Why don't you just throw a big old
nuggets.
alligator on the fucking?
How about some mutton? I don't even know what that is.
Is that
mutton?
lamb?
I believe
That's
that's lamb.
Yeah, it's
right?
like a baby. It's like a baby lamb. Listen, kill a baby animal, eat it. Happy Thanksgiving. That's all we're trying to say.
But yeah, Imran, do not get your hands anywhere near cooking a turkey this year.
Make some tofurkey.
Yeah, if you put your hands on that turkey, it is already should be in the garbage.
All right, well, tofurkey it is then. I'll just mold one out of tofu.
You stay away from putting your hands on any sort of
I
Thanksgiving
make a
food
good
other
turkey.
than eating
God
it.
damn it! Come on over. I'll give you my turkey.
Just make a small turkey.
Listen, you're not getting the giblets. That's all this means. Keep with the giblets.
What's the smallest turkey you can get?
I don't know, but I'm going to spatchcock it.
Yeah.
Are you
gotta
really?
get
How long does that take?
No, I don't know.
I don't know. What kind of turkey sizes are we talking about? Small turkey.
Like a 12-pounder. Why are we talking about turkey?
Because of Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Oh, it is.
The show is going to come out the day
Are
before
you going
Thanksgiving.
out the night before
Oh, yeah.
Thanksgiving?
Is that a big thing now?
It is a big thing. I am probably going to refrain from doing that.
Oh, boy.
I stopped doing that I think last year, or might even be the year before.
Oh, boy.
Last year.
Yeah.
And the reason for it is it's just I hate being hungover on Thanksgiving. There's nothing worse than being hungover on Thanksgiving around family.
Yeah, it hurts.
It hurts. You just don't want to talk to them.
Yeah.
You have to be around your family, but like regardless. So it's just like, oh. And I usually what will happen is I'll have like lunch with them and then I'll just like find an empty room and then like doze off.
I just need to take a nap.
Yeah, and then just like, what is wrong with you?
Well, I
man?
think we should move this to like Black Friday, going out partying. Black Friday. In the
No,
bars.
everyone's shopping.
Yeah. No? After the shopping.
I think it's more the novelty of the fact that everyone's off the next day. No one ever does. Like, not everyone's ever able to party on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's not my.
That's true.
I'm done with it.
He's done. Oh, my God.
Done.
Anthony's getting old. He's growing up.
Oh, it's the times.
The
He's
end.
going to wake up with a achy back.
End of an era.
Yeah.
He'll look like me soon.
He's going to start wearing compression socks any day now.
Gotta keep the blood flowing down there.
Start dressing like Imran. No
Yes.
socks, just shoes.
Yeah, you're going to start doing weird shit.
Pull your belt waist all the way up to your nipples.
He's like, I need a look. I'm aging rapidly.
Like it did. All right, look, you fuckers. That's it. Rugs, where can the listener find you online?
On X at Really Rug Boy. Come follow me.
We got socials too. You should follow all of them. Listener, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's not called Twitter anymore. Whatever it's called. But the most important thing you can do, subscribe to the show, share it, tell a friend, spread it around. Thank you for listening to the Jock and Nerd Podcast. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the nerd.
We will peep you next time.
Thing I offered you a chance to be a cop, and you blew it.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
My balls are hot.
Great.
My balls are lame.
Jock and Nerd.
All right.